Welcome back to Truth or Theory podcast. This is episode number 86. I'm JP. This is
Hey, Willie.
the man with the plan.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I have some good news, brother.
You do.
Cheers to good news.
Cheers to it.
Since you don't have a drink.
I don't.
Okay, I got home yesterday from work a little later than usual, and I'm on the phone inside my vehicle in the driveway talking to my brother. Shout out, Chris. How you doing, brother? And I get a call come through from Mr. JP himself. And I said, I need to answer this. He does not call me all the time. This must be important. I answer it. He said, do you realize you have a tornado right above your house right now? And I said, well, that's just me, sweetheart, and my powerful energy. No, I had no idea. There's a freaking tornado right outside of our neighborhood. JP and I live pretty close. But thanks to JP, I got to go investigate. And that was the first tornado I've ever seen, like legit tornado in person.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, me too. I was like, holy shit, this is really happening.
Dude, there were so many people trying to go drive to it to go look at it.
Really?
Yeah. I went driving like straight to it. And I was videoing the whole time. I was like, all right, if I get something thrown through my vehicle or I get thrown off, I'm going to at least have it videoed.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Got to always have it recorded.
It was kind of funny, and the wife was making a joke. She's like, yeah, we get this over the phone tornado warning, take shelter immediately, and the whole neighborhood goes outside.
Yeah, dude, literally everyone in my neighborhood was standing in their driveway
Yep.
outside and looking around and like taking pictures and stuff. I went drive to it. It felt like the movie Twister.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a little southern girl from Louisiana, and we have hurricanes. We don't have tornadoes.
Yeah.
And tornadoes are pretty rare where I'm from.
Chance of a tornado.
The tornadoes is pretty rare where I'm from, Tippy.
It was pretty cool, and the damage.
It was
there
at least
wasn't
an
a whole lot of
F5. Let's
damage.
be honest.
Oh well,
What was it, like an F2?
I don't know the ratings. Higher is worse.
Yeah, F5 is the top
Give
dad.
it a half star.
Top dog.
Half star.
So you think it was an F1.5?
An F half.
Oh, great. I thought it was pretty big. I was impressed.
No, they said 100-mile-an-hour winds. It was pretty decent. Crashed down a couple of like how do you call farms that are already basically falling down because they're old?
Abandoned farms?
Yeah, abandoned farms. Knocked down a couple of those. Killed a couple of cows.
Did he really?
Sons of bitches. Yeah, bro. That
Yeah.
was some real Dorothy shit.
Yeah, dude, I went check it out this morning, the carnage area, and there's stuff like all out in the fields, real far out and stuff,
Really?
like heavy things too. I was
Damn.
like, damn, this really is like Twister.
I was looking on my way to work and I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, I went to drive like really right where the root of it was at. I don't even know what you call the base of a tornado. Is the tail, the root, what?
Yeah.
The base, the shaft, the stem. No, the root, the tornado root. But yeah, it was impressive, man. I could feel the energy, and I told a lot of people this, and nobody takes me serious. It's a little frustrating. As I'm driving to this tornado, it's very dense. I'll put the pictures up so you guys can see it too. I'll put it up right now. Okay. So now you're looking at the tornado if you're on the YouTube channel. If you're not, then what the hell are you doing with your life?
Mystery.
Yeah, but I'm driving closer and closer to it, and as I get closer, it dissipates. I'm like, y'all can take this as a coincidence, or you can give me the credit that I deserve, that I am that powerful with the force that I just blew this tornado up so it wouldn't destroy everybody. I did. I'm the hero of Johnstown.
I know it was kind of cool the way it went up. It just like poof, and then it just looked kind of like a puff of smoke.
Yeah.
It was really dark. It looked like a house fire, almost like just smoke from a house fire.
It was strange, man. It was very fascinating. I love raw nature at its finest.
Yeah, that's the first.
Nobody was killed though, right?
No, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Nope, just the cows.
Damn. Move out the way.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any cheers to good news, man?
I mean, not really. It's just been kind of the same old, same old. I'm trying to get back on that health train.
Yeah,
We'll see how it goes this time.
Yeah, this time. You and I are notorious for starting and stopping.
Man, I do it for like a week, and then it just, I don't know. I just fall off. Then I get back to it and then fall off, you know.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can, brother.
Yeah. That's all we can do.
What happened here, buddy? Got guns coming out.
Oh,
always got to flex for the podcast.
Sun's out.
Well, I do have an announcement, guys. This is personal. I got some hardcore drama going on in my life, mostly caused by me, but I am actually in the middle of getting a divorce with my wife in real life, not on the podcast world. So it's pretty crazy. I'm going through some weird shit. So there may be some weird hiccups in the podcasting for a little while. We're going to have to get a new studio eventually. But we're going to make it work. And I'm not going to go into any of the details because it's personal stuff. But if y'all want to sign up for the Patreon, maybe I'll do it. I mean, maybe we'll dive into it. Maybe we'll get the wife on here and we can have a shouting match on the Patreon.
Full-blown Dr. Drew moment.
Yeah, dude, you can play our therapist and you have me and the wife just go at it, bro.
Well,
for the Patreon.
I honestly don't even know what's really going on with you two that much. So
it sucks, man. But
it's real life. We're real life people.
Yeah,
I mean, we have real life shit going on.
Real world going on.
Just normal old guy working a job and doing our things.
So we'll get to the guests, but please don't reach out and call TMZ. I don't need them showing up at my house trying to get stories and stuff on it. JP and I started the downtown Denver homeless beggars episode recently this past weekend, and we were swarmed downtown Denver with fans and people just want to get autographs and pictures. It can be overwhelming. So please give us our space at this time. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Get out there.
Yeah.
Trying to get out there. And
if you see us out in Denver area interviewing homeless people and beggars, just honk your horn and say TOT. And
there you go.
Don't bombard us. Give us our time to record, please. Woke wolf pack. All right, guys, we have our guest today on episode number 86, Ian Smith. He is the man that's been running Curves Fitness in New Jersey, right? No?
Maybe if it was Curves, we would have been allowed to stay open. I don't know.
Yeah. The ladies on the bouncing balls, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal, huh?
Yeah. I'm sure we wouldn't have as much support if it was that, because we have quite a cast of characters at our gym, and we're very thankful for the support that we've gotten in staying open.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. What you guys have gone through and pulled off is so incredible, and you've inspired a lot of people during all the pandemic bullshit that we've been going through. Looks like we're finally on the back end of it. How's it on your side of it out there? Is it clearing up too?
I think more than clearing up, it's sort of changing gears. I think it's far from over. Unfortunately, I wish I wasn't the bearer of bad news on that one, but I don't think that this is going to go away until it's completely killed. It's just kind of changing phases. You had the lockdowns and the masks, and now you're seeing the restrictions and the pleading and the sort of propaganda for vaccinations. And I think that's probably the next big fight on the horizon. I think they're going to try pretty hard to make it work, although I do think they are losing steam. So, yeah, we might be on the back end in regard to that. I think a lot of people woke up really quickly this past year. And because of that, they're losing a lot of the momentum. But these people are psychos, and they're gonna keep on trying until there's nothing left.
Yeah. Yeah, the vaccine shit pisses me off. I'm going to be road tripping a lot in the future because I'm not flying with all that shenanigans. Because I jabbed by some mystery shit.
See, and I've also heard that some of the airlines they're not requiring anymore. They're just kind of like,
oh, it's already going down.
They tried it and it wasn't happening, and then they're kind of just dismissing that already. So I don't know. I hear mixed reviews. Some people say it's just going to keep getting worse, and some other places are like it's pretty much non-existent at this point.
Yeah. I'm getting my pilot.
Yeah, and thankfully so. Hopefully we see more of the second one there. I think there's a lot of pushback. And I really think that when they rolled this whole vaccination and the whole plan out altogether, I think they underestimated just kind of the human spirit to want to fight and be free. This whole year mobilized a lot of people who were either on the sidelines, just kind of watching the world change, or were just completely unaware that these type of things were going on. And these type of people, these power hungry, narcissist, just psychopaths, that I don't think a lot of people knew they even existed, because I think a lot of people just, you really go about your life on a daily basis and you want to trust that what you see on TV is true, and your politicians have your best interest in mind. And 2020 was like a bucket of cold water in the faces of a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, that's very true. It did wake up a lot of people that were completely asleep and not even questioning anything. we just started our podcast like the January of 2020, and right before all that shit. So it's just like we were going to talk about Bigfoot, aliens, and random shit, and then all this crap it just went to hell on us.
Now you have unlimited material with COVID.
Yeah, for real. You were clean shaven at the beginning of COVID too, huh? The beard is a COVID beard?
Nah, not quite. But the beard has gotten quite a bit longer. It certainly has.
How long does it take to grow a beard like that when you're a real man? Because I don't have those kind of genes, man.
This is about 3 years, man. Some people just get lucky. Some people don't. It's it's
one
funny.
of
I got
lucky.
a lot of people will ask, like, how do you grow your beard like that? And my answer is don't shave. That's really all it takes. And some guys, some guys have it, some not. But yeah, it's about 3 years.
I could probably pull off like some butt crack hair pretty long and break a record with that. But face, man, this is like 2 weeks of growing, man. It's just rough. Just don't have it in me. Too much estrogen. Can you tell our listeners who aren't familiar with you that have been living under a cave, just a quick background on you and like what all the attention you had on you and your gym at the beginning of COVID? Because I'm sure you've never been asked that before. Groundbreaking question.
Yeah, well, everybody knows the whole 14-day to slow the spread, flatten the curve, whatever, cute little part you want to add in there about shutting down for 2 weeks and everything just being okay after that. We were very sort of skeptical, but not enough was really known, I guess, at the time to say outright we're not going to close at all. So we did close originally, and my business partner is an extremely smart dude, a numbers guy, a science guy. He's probably one of the smartest guys I know. So we had a lot of work to do. We only bought the gym 8 months prior to all of this, and we bought an absolute dumpster fire of a gym. And then we were very fortunate. In just a couple months, we turned it around, and we had a flourishing small business. So there was still plenty to do. So we kept working. We would go into work, and there was plenty to keep us busy. And we started to pay attention to the politics, and we started to pay attention to the science. And politics was politics as usual. The politicians always overpromise and underdeliver. And I think they did it even more so now than I think they've ever done. And then, we started paying attention to the science. We wanted to learn everything we could about this mystery virus that, on the news, they were showing footage of people dropping dead in the streets in China and all this. And very quickly we came to the realization that the science just wasn't there. That showed that this was, some deadly, thing that was going to wipe out, the original numbers were 2.3 million people would be dead by the summer of 2020. And, even with the shaky, let's call them shaky numbers that they have, we're not even close to that yet. Almost a year and a half later, we just started to research, and very quickly we decided it was day 11 actually, after they passed the single biggest economic stimulus bill to the tune of $2.6 trillion, which I don't even think a lot of people can wrap their head around that number. We knew it was bullshit because they were paying people to stay home. What was in that bill is still screwing us over today. There's a big part of the bill, and a lot of people don't realize that, is they were not only were hospitals being incentivized to count COVID cases and to report COVID deaths, but states were actually being incentivized with federal money to produce positive PCR tests. So not even a hospitalization, nothing, which is why you saw this big push. Even if you feel okay, go get tested, because they knew the high cycle PCR tests at the threshold of 40 cycles would produce a positive with almost anything, which is why you saw the can of Coke be a positive, the grapefruit was a positive. But states were getting paid per positive test. Like here in New Jersey, it was $18,000 per positive PCR test. Money coming from the federal government, taxpayer money going into the hands of the New Jersey government with no accountability of where it was being spent. And that was all over the country. In rural places where they needed to drum up as much fear as possible, and people are typically very skeptical of government, the states like West Virginia were getting paid $428,000 per positive test.
Wow.
So
That's so
stuff
dirty,
like that
man.
was a major red. Yeah. And it's insane because you know, that bill was over 1,000 pages long, so most people didn't even take a look at it. You know, but my partner Frank, especially, he's read all this stuff, and it's right there. But anyway, so that was big red flag number one. And then there were a couple others, and about 4 weeks in, Frank and I looked at each other, or 5 weeks in, whatever, and we decided, you know, we were sitting there after work the one night, getting ready to go home, and Frank looked at me and said, "I want to open." He said, "They're not gonna open us, you know, like anytime soon, and we're gonna lose everything if we don't open." And on top of that, he said, "I don't, you know, Frank's got 5 kids. You know, I'm at the age where I'm going to be starting a family." And, you know, he said to me, he said, "I got 5 kids. This is not a world I want them to live in." So that's when we made the decision. And we planned it out. And our plan was this: we were going to go public, and we were going to be very loud about it, because we knew government was not going to play nice. We knew their intentions weren't good, but we wanted to show the world the extent to which these people would go to hold on to the control that they had just sort of got right overnight. So we were very public about it, and we were very methodical about it. Our original safety protocol was so far above and beyond what any other business, Amazon, all your big box places, had to do, that it would be absurd to shut us down, because, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. So we put in this huge safety protocol. We put a video out. I put it out on my Instagram, which at the time, just, I don't know, I had about 15,000 people following, mostly fitness people, mostly local. And just kind of right message at the right time. I think a lot of people were just getting to that point where they were realizing that this was bullshit, that this was incredibly unfair to a lot of people. And the video kind of went viral, for whatever that means at that time, and caught the attention of Tucker Carlson. And I went on Tucker Carlson a week before we reopened, and gave Governor Murphy the middle finger salute, and said on national television that we are going to open our gym no matter what come Monday. And we did. You know, and we opened to a huge crowd of support outside. Every national media outlet in the country there. Pete Hegseth from Fox News was on our front step, interviewed us that second. And the most important part, there was a line wrapped around the building of our members who were ready to come in and support us. So we were met with resistance from day one, and it has just escalated ever since. We were served with some summons on day one. Day two, we got some more. So did our customers, or our members. A couple of people got arrested. Then they were harassing people, following them back to their homes. Then we got a health department shut down. We ignored it. Then we got a court order shut down. We ignored it. They locked our doors. They physically came and changed the locks. We picked the locks. We went back in. We started taking the gym outside. We filed a federal lawsuit that was dismissed because we had criminal charges already. So we said, screw that. We're going back inside. On 4th of July, we reopened back inside, hoping that we would get arrested on Independence Day, because that would just make great headline news. That didn't come, but we started getting contempt of court charges. That's when the daily fines of $15,497 per day for every day that we were in operation came. We were eventually arrested. We took the doors off of the hinges so that they couldn't lock the doors. And we actually slept inside the gym for 40 days and 40 nights, open 24 hours a day as a form of protest. They boarded up our doors. We kicked them back in. We've had our utilities attempted to be shut off. We have 80 municipal and criminal summons. We have 7 brand new ones. Our business license was stripped. We've had $173,000 seized from our bank account. We've been fined hundreds of thousands of dollars on the front end, with hundreds of thousands of dollars potential more. And now we are personally liable for any future fines. So that means they pierced through the corporation. And Frank and I, our houses are subject to get taken, our personal assets, our vehicles, stuff like that. So nonetheless, we open our doors every single day, no matter what. And there's absolutely nothing that'll stop us from doing that, because government is never going to tell us what to do. So that's where we're at.
Shit.
Wow.
Damn, Ian, that is incredible, man.
That is awesome.
That's the really condensed version.
That is incredible. The willpower and the fucking stubbornness you guys had, man. That takes a lot of balls.
Yeah.
Because most people would have folded, including myself.
And I truly think that if it wasn't Frank and I together, I don't know of anybody that could have handled all of this as like a one-man team. You know, we were very fortunate. You got a lot of people that run a business by themselves, and it's a lot to take on, or you have a lot of people that have a partner that sort of may not be on the same page as them. You know, Frank and I made a promise. You know, we said if we open, it's till the wheels fall off. Like, we're not closing. And that was it, you know, and I think they underestimated that quite a bit, because here we are a year later and there's still no resolution. We're still very much in, you know, up Schitt's Creek. But nonetheless, they couldn't close us, and we proved them wrong. You know, we just hit 200,000 visits to the facility sometime last week. We're about 205,000 people coming through so far. Not a single outbreak has been linked to the facility. You know, we have had people who have tested positive because they were at work. They just stay away. When they get a correct test, they come back, and that's it. You know, there's been no spread. We have a paper trail to prove all of it. We invite them to come check out our paper trail. If you could show that our gym was a danger to the public, we'd shut it down at any time. But we proved them wrong, and government doesn't like that very much.
Man.
Hell yeah, brother. I love it.
Yes.
Fuck the system.
That is awesome.
That's so cool, man. It's so fucking crazy.
Got my heart racing just thinking about all the trouble and
I just
everything.
want to go punch a government official in the
Jeez.
face. No, I'm kidding. So without getting into you guys' personal situation with it, are y'all good now? Are you financially okay to keep going? Because that's some huge blows.
We find a way to make it work. You know, we don't charge our members. We haven't charged our members since we originally shut down. But we're very blessed. Because we weren't even the first people to open. We were just the loudest, I think. And I think, you know, because of that, we were able to capture the attention of not only the nation, but even around the world, you know, and we have a ton of support. Every time we get knocked down, people just give us the ability to get back up. You know, when they seized $173,000 from our bank account, which again, wasn't memberships, that was donations.
Wow.
Donations from our GoFundMe. They seized $173,000, and a week later we had $150,000 in our bank account because people put in about 5,000 shirts, 5,000 orders for T-shirts. And we had just donations coming in, and we're able to make it work. It's certainly not fun. You know, I wish it wasn't like this. I wish we could just all get back to living normal lives. But we make it work in the meantime, you know, and now we have a certain strategy, and we keep the amount of money that we have very low. So when we get money, we pay our bills in advance, so they can't kick us out. They can't shut off our utilities. And there's really not much to take. And, you know, as we need money, you know, we find a way to get it. You know, people have been extremely good to us, whether it's people ordering T-shirts, whether it's people donating. You know, we have people who come in locally and donate, and they don't even go to the gym. You know, they just they because they believe in what we're doing. So it's certainly not a profitable venture, but it's one that we've been able to sustain so far. You know, and there's still quite some road in front of us, but I really think that people care about it enough that we'll find a way to make it work.
See, and stories like this really give me faith in the human race, because there's a lot of days where I'm like, man, people are just shitty people, and I'm over people in general. I just want to move away and be by myself. But to hear stories like this is really, really awesome to show that people care.
No, it is, you know, and I can kind of identify with that. You know what I mean? There's a large group of people that like just drive me crazy. Mm-hmm. You know, with just people can be really shitty. But people can also be incredibly, incredibly awesome. You know, I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma for a Health and Freedom conference with General Flynn and a bunch of other people. And it was one of the most, because we've witnessed the generosity when we see like the GoFundMe, and when we see T-shirt orders coming in, you know, 50, 100 a day on some days. But I was speaking in front of 5,000 people, and they talked about, you know, what they had done to us. And people are awesome, man. People really do care. It's just I think we tend to hear the loud and annoying and frustrating people more because they're loud, frustrating, and annoying.
Right.
You know, but this country is full of some really, really awesome people.
Yeah.
Most of them don't live in blue states. Most of them live in, somewhere in the middle of the country, typically, or down south. But yeah, I can agree with you on that one. It does. It restores a little bit of faith that, not everybody's an asshole, and it's that there's a lot of hope left for humanity.
Now, I'm kind of curious, when they came to lock up your doors and arrest you guys and stuff like that, were the police like, were they kind of cool about it, or like, look, man, this is my orders, I got to take you in, or were they good, or was it rough?
We've had a mixed sort of batch. There's a lot of really, really good, honest people who are police. Before this all happened, more than half the Belmar PD department worked out at the gym. These are all guys we knew. And it's typically the higher ups who are like the bootlickers and the assholes. Every once in a while you get, a new ambitious cop who's just ready to brown nose his way to the top. But most of these people, they're just like us. They got put in a really, really bad position with all of this, because you're dangling their livelihood in front of them. And you're telling them all these lies about how dangerous coronavirus is and how reckless small businesses are, and then you're sending them in and shutting them down, and it's a shitty place to be in. Our experience with cops have been mostly good. We certainly have had some assholes, but for the most part, these guys were, they were just doing what they were told, and some people don't like that, and they want to draw the comparisons to Nazi Germany, and whatever, you can do that. But the reality is, if you're 40, 50 years old and you've done 20 years in the police force, and somebody's dangling your pension in front of your face, it's not such an easy choice.
Right,
for sure.
And during all this, I mean, they were doing all the riots and all that same stuff too. So police were already, on the hot seat with everything going on. So that was kind of,
they were getting hit from all angles. They had the hatred of that whole like woke left extremist, whatever you want to call them, Antifa movement, where they're being berated by these people, and then they're sandwiched between their higher ups, and then they're being forced to do things to good people who are then getting frustrated with them because people have a breaking point. You shut my business down on week 2, or week 4, I can understand it. But if you're still shutting my business down, you're still coming and harassing me a year later, and you're still using that same excuse, I'm just doing my job, I'm going to be frustrated. So you got all these people who are like angry at them, and it's right. I wouldn't want to be a cop these days.
Yeah, they basically purposely turned us all against each other too. But it seems like the majority now are starting to come around and wake up and use their senses, and all the other fuckheads that haven't, screw them. But it seems like it united a lot of people. I think it backfired.
I do too. And maybe I'm just hopeful. But I think, like we said in the beginning of the episode, I think it woke a lot of people up. It woke a lot of people up who have been lied to. You have all of these people who live in urban communities who are always told all these lies that the government's going to come and save them, and it's the Democrats that do the handouts and all this stuff, and it's like, a lot of those people woke up. A lot of people, like I said, who were just not really paying attention. They were just living life as an American, kind of going about their way in this great country that we do live in, and woke them up. And, every time they stepped on somebody's neck, it woke somebody else up, and we realized that with the people that supported us. Originally the majority of our support system was the Trump crowd. The 3%ers, the freedom loving patriots, and all those people lumped into one. And then over time, your more moderate Republicans and moderate Democrats, as it drug on and as this started to affect them, they supported us. And now we have people in the gym who are politically liberal, and
really?
they came around. I remember very specifically, one day after they took our money, which was somewhere in September, I guess. I had a guy walk in the gym, and he came, bought a couple T-shirts, and I'm talking to him, and he said, I wanted to tell you something. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he goes, at first, I thought you and Frank were assholes. He said, I thought you were selfish. I thought you were stupid. I thought you were reckless. He said, everything I read was negative. And he said, the only reason I followed the story was because you guys pissed me off. Like, I couldn't believe you guys weren't taking it seriously. I couldn't believe, I saw the pictures of the day you opened, and there was nothing but Trump flags out, and he was telling me about how, he hated us. And then he's like, now here I am 8 months later. I want to support you guys because what they're doing to you is not right. And he's like, I may not agree with you politically on a lot of things. He said, but I do think as an American, you should never be treated like this. And that was like another crowd. And even after they took the money also, they pissed off the entire crypto community. All these people that are like very big into cryptocurrencies, like they found out they took our money, and these people hate government for the most part. They hate the idea of government controlling money. So when they took our money, not only were they pissing off like just regular Americans, liberal, whatever side you're on, but the entire crypto community on Twitter went absolutely apeshit because they were like, this is why we need crypto. Like, this is it. Like, this is an example. Like, everybody look at this because this can happen to every single one of us. So we're gonna start a fundraiser for you. We're gonna do a crypto fundraiser, and we're gonna teach you guys how to use crypto wallets so they can't take your money. So little by little, as you were saying, this is the long-winded answer, but little by little, they're starting to unite people. The same people that they tried to divide because they're fucking everybody bit by bit.
Yep, man, that's interesting. The thing that's so frustrating about the COVID bullshit too is all the lockdowns were so anti-health of any kind of way. Like lock yourself up, no sun, no working out, like stay away from everybody. Anything that would cause depression, they were like for. And then vaccines, don't take vitamins, don't take care of yourself. Just go get the vaccines. Enjoy your McDonald's, get the shot. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's that was our thing from day one is you're shutting down all of these things that are good for people. Like gyms are great. Gyms are awesome, for a number of reasons, not just physical health, mental health. When you walk in our gym, music is blaring. Not a lot of people have headphones in. People are talking to each other, and they're happy, whether they're there because they have a stressful job, or whether they're there because they're a recovering addict, or whether they're there because their confidence is linked to their self-image, whatever it is. All of these people are there trying to improve themselves, and they are improving themselves in a number of ways. But the same thing can be said for a church. I'm not a particularly religious person, but I know damn well church is good for people. You know what I mean? Like it's something that, my girlfriend goes to church, and that's something that's really fucking important to her. Every week she goes, and it's great for her mental health, because she gets that connection, she gets that stress relief. And the same thing can be said for anything else. Being able to go out with your friends and go to a restaurant, that's good for you. It's good for your health. They wanted to reverse everything where you can't go out and socialize. You can only communicate through, essentially through electronic communication, in which they control most of that, if not all of it. You can go to a liquor store, or you can go to a dispensary, but you can't go to a farmer's market. You can go to 7-Eleven, but you can't go to the gym. So you can go finger fuck everything in Walmart as long as you have, your face diaper on and a Lysol wipe on your cart. And all of a sudden there's no risk at all, but you can't go to a gym and touch a dumbbell and do the same thing. Everything was the exact opposite of public health. The idea that their good idea to save everybody was be scared, isolate yourself, try to disinfect the world around you, and sit and sort of shelter in place and wait for some experimental drug. I mean, that's laughable. That's not health. That's the exact opposite of health. Yeah. That's a defensive health policy. You know what I mean? And you should be proactive about your health.
It's very New World Order feeling, man.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah, it is. And we didn't start out thinking or feeling that way, but that's it's hard to look at what's going on and come to any other conclusion.
Well, and in the very beginning, like, it was scary. Like, it's a world pandemic. Like, people reacted how you should react in a legit pandemic. You know what I mean? If billions or millions of people were supposed to die, that's scary. I mean, people freaked out. I don't blame them. I freaked out a little bit. I'm like, this is getting real. Colorado is exploding right now with these cases, and it's kind of scary. But then, like you said, you do the research and you find out these fake numbers and this and that. And it's just like, wow, fooled me. Straight fooled me.
I think they bamboozled most people. You know, I wasn't particularly excited about shutting down, but I was like doing weird shit, like using hand sanitizer all the time, and like, you know, like stupid shit like that. I don't use hand sanitizer. I've never used hand sanitizer in my life, and I'm like worried about if it was in stock at the grocery store. So they had everybody freaked out. Yeah, I think at least initially, and then I think once you, I mean, the biggest thing was the numbers. If you have to lie about the numbers, then it's not what you're saying it is. You know, they struggled to get to 55 or 550,000 deaths. They had to lie their way to that number, and that wasn't even close to what they said. You know. Yeah. Meanwhile, in the beginning, we were all being shown clips, you know, of they look like Resident Evil clips. You know, I mean, people just dropping dead in the streets, just bodies stacked. Yeah. You know, it was all theatrics. It was nothing but theatrics.
Yep. Let's get down to the real nitty gritty, man. Why do you not go to church with your girlfriend?
I do go, just not very often.
That's fair enough, man. All right, man. We're gonna jump to the 6 questions. We end our episodes with 6 questions every time, and we will cut you loose, my brother.
Cool.
You ready?
Yep.
Number 1, if you could create any law, which law would you create and why?
The only law I would create is the golden rule would be the law. That's it. Do unto others as you would have unto yourself, and that's it. And I think that would cover most of it in terms of liberty and what is allowed and what is not allowed. Yeah,
I agree. My mom is very pro the golden rule. If she wasn't such a PG lady, she would have had that tattooed on her throat, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm doing these off of memory too, because my phone crashed on me and I don't have any notes. So I'm going to,
you're on pod.
I've asked these like 80 something times. So hopefully we can get it right. Number 2, what are 3 words that would you choose to describe yourself? Is that number 3?
I think so.
All right, we'll come back to number 2.
3 words. Okay. 3 words I use to describe myself. Combative. I've never been a sort of a fan of being told what to do, and I've always kind of had that characteristic. Impatient would be another one. I don't like to sit around and wait for things to happen. I'd rather do what I can, even if it's not enough to solve the problem right away. I just need to get involved. I need to be doing something. And stubborn.
Those are all kind of with a negative context to them, but I think there's better words for you, man. You say an impatient, I'd say maybe driven. You got a lot of drive.
Fair enough.
You're spinning it half empty on us, man. Stubborn, strong-willed.
Strong-willed. Okay.
There you go. I changed them for you, man. I have that power. Number 3, what do you want to be remembered for when your time is up? I got this shit.
I just want to be remembered for doing the right thing. That's all.
Dude, you and Frank are like the leader of the resistance, man. It's the coolest shit ever. The Rebel Alliance.
I mean, it is. We never in a million years did we ever think that this is what it would be. But when we set out to do all of this, we knew we were doing the right thing. We knew no matter how hard it got, no matter how ugly it got, how nasty it got, that when we made the choice to open, we did so with our hearts in the right places and acting not only in our best interest, but in the best interest of everybody.
Right. That's awesome. Number 4, my favorite. What is something you like that most people don't know about you? What is something you're into, or hobbies, or any of that kind of shit?
I don't get to do it very often these days, but you put me in front of a first person shooter, and I will sit there until the sun goes down and comes back up, especially if it's like an old school game like Counter-Strike or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that game. I do remember that game.
We're some shooters too, man. We love that shit.
Yep. Get down
Professional
on some
video
Apex
game shooter.
some Apex and some Call of Duty, and
Yeah.
we play that.
Yeah. I don't have nearly enough free time to do it these days, and I don't like losing. So whenever I turn it on, I'm just like a bullet cushion. So I don't get to play very often. But
Wait till you have kids, man. It's gonna get worse. The only time I can play now is at nighttime when they're all in bed. Number 5. What superpower would you choose if you could choose any superpower?
Oh, that's easy. I would want to be able to snap my fingers and freeze time, and then just be able to kind of roam and do what I wanted.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think that's the first time we've heard that.
Yeah.
Freeze time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
what's the first thing you would do, man?
Probably pants Governor Murphy.
Do what?
I'd snap my hands, pull his pants down, and then right back on.
A little ding-a-ling right on live news. Well, it's cold in here, guys.
Like some Evan Almighty or something. Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty. All right, last question, number 6. If you could know the absolute truth on any conspiracy theory, which would you choose?
Oh man. I would want to know the details of 9/11 front to or start to finish. I would want to know the cast of characters, who was involved, who knew what, who was involved in what degrees, and who benefited, and how.
Yeah, right there with you, man.
Only because I think that was the first time in my life. I was sophomore. And that's when I started kind of like questioning, like if government always has your best interest in mind. That was the first, because I remember that very vividly.
Yeah, I mean, before that, it was kind of, it wasn't all out there. The information wasn't ready available, and the internet and this and that, where you can actually expose all this stuff and learn about it.
Yeah, so much shit has changed.
I'm sure it's been going on forever and ever, but
yeah,
to really know.
Yeah. The best you had before that was like the X-Files on Fox on Sundays. But yeah, that was like the first one where I really, it wasn't Roswell was always something that interested me and all that stuff, but that was the first thing I think I witnessed that I really was like, wait, this doesn't make sense. And I remember I was relatively young coming to that conclusion too. So yeah, I would want to know the details about 9/11.
Good choice.
As a sophomore too, that was a major world event. So it was like, we were in it. You were talking about probably drafting you for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy thought too. Bonus question, man. What's the best thing that you think has happened to you so far since all this shit? You've been in the spotlight with the COVID war.
2-part answer. Actually, they're the same thing, I guess. I've expanded my network to a degree that most people probably, even if they tried, couldn't expand it to in a lifetime. And it's opened a lot of doors to some really awesome people. And through all of this, I've met just some incredible people. And I've sort of refined my my circle of friends, both my inner and kind of outer. And the people that I'm surrounded with these days are just kick-ass people. I couldn't be happier with the people that are in my life through all this, whether they're close friends, whether they're just acquaintances, people that I've had the opportunity to come on some of their podcasts and talk. And it's just, it's opened up a world of just very, very interesting people who, I will probably be, talking to and networking with and working with and being friends with for the rest of my life.
That's awesome, man.
That is
Good
a
stuff.
blessing.
So where can our listeners find and support you, man? Is it Ian at Curves.
So I am most
Sorry, man.
curves for men. If you're interested on what's going on, I am most vocal on Instagram. That's Ian Smith Fitness. I try to update people as much as possible about what's going on, but I don't shut up about everything else either. So I'm always kind of talking about government and talking about what's going on with these snakes as much as possible. So you can follow along there. You got to type in my whole name though, because I'm in the shadow ban category on most of these things. And if you're interested in supporting us or spreading the word about our story, our website is theatilisgym.com, and Atilis is spelled ATILIS. We're having a pretty awesome event in August, on August 14th. It's called Veterans Outreach Workout. We're going to raise $100,000 for our veterans. And we're going to donate to 3 different charities. So if you're interested in finding out about that, that's all on the website. Our merch is up there and any other relevant links as well.
Awesome. We'll put all those links in the show notes too.
Yep.
So
Awesome.
Go check it out, guys. Thanks for coming on in. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's good
Absolutely.
to have you in our network, man.
I'm glad we finally made it work after several attempts. And I appreciate your patience.
Yeah. It's all good, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Keep fighting the good
All right,
fight,
guys.
brother.
We will.
Peace out.